Everybody? Oh yeah. Alright, quick horror story because he brought it up. I used to work at Taco Bell, not retail, but I dropped this guy's change and it was less than $1. I think it was 37 cents because it scarred me. I dropped his change and he looked at me and he said, "I should fucking kill you right now." Jesus. And I was 15 or 16 and I was like, I'm gonna go get my manager, you know? And I got my manager and she was like, "This happens a lot, just get his money from the drawer." And I was like, okay, neat. It's nice to know it happens a lot. Keep doing your thing, Brandon, we love you. You guys ready for your next comic? Woo! Oh yeah. Put your hands together for Chris Biggs. That's it.
Hello folks. I'm going to do some topical humor today. If I can find my notes. I screwed them all. I wrote my notes in blue ink or black ink on blue paper. That I cannot see them at all because I've got blue lights shining up in my eyes. That was, let's see, where's my, I flipped them all upside down. Okay, so apparently, like anybody watching the news this week, Donald Trump was shocked at the rise of autism rates over the last 20 years. And I can tell you, I am not surprised at all, because over the last 2 years, I've met all of you. Like, spend 5 minutes at an open mic and tell me the numbers don't add up, okay? But like the big reason that they've seen an increase is the rates of autism in Hispanic, Asian, and blacks have skyrocketed. They've surpassed whites in 2020. That's after just 4 years of Donald Trump. Imagine what he's going to do in the next 4. Okay? But the real reason for the change too, though, is we now look at autism as a spectrum. It's not just full blown. And we all know that Donald Trump's like a full blown kind of guy. Like if you're not full blown, it doesn't count. That's my first topical joke. Topical joke number 2. A French court just ruled that sex is not part of a woman's marital duties. Which means love is mandatory, but ooh la la is optional. The Eiffel Tower is just excited that it won't be the only thing that's to stand up all night long. Yeah. French husbands are now going to be shouting, "Sacre blue balls!" Oh man, I screwed up all my notes. Okay, I don't have any tattoos. I don't know if you all can tell by looking at me with my clothes on, but there's nothing under there. I kind of wish sometimes that I did have tattoos because I could tell all my liberal friends that I'm a person of color too. But there's really just nothing in this world that I love enough that I'd want it like on my skin permanently, you know, which really bothers my kids to hear. They're like, "Oh, thanks, Dad," and they just like to stir the pot. They're like, "Okay, we get it. We're not worth it. But what about Mommy?" And it's like, I love my wife. She's like my sun, like the sun, right? I mean, she's the center of my world. She makes everything brighter. Without her, I would wither away. But sometimes you're just out in the sun too long. You start to burn. You just need some shade. You need a break. You just and if you were to go inside, take a breath, look in the mirror, and see the goddamn sun tattooed on your chest! You'd just be reminded of another mistake you made. About a week after my wife and I got married, the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith came out. Do you guys remember this movie? Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt. They were married, but secretly they were assassins and didn't know it. And really, I'm just telling you, that movie kind of set my marriage up for some disappointment. Because like you watch it and you're like, that could be us. Like, I mean, I get it, I'm not Brad Pitt. But like Angelina Jolie had like that dress with the, I could buy that dress for my wife. I mean, and my wife, she's hot enough to be an assassin, but I don't think she'd like be able to seduce a target. Like her flirting game just doesn't really work for that world. Like she'd go up to a guy in a bar and be like, "Hey there, you know, I'm ovulating." Which, let me tell you, in certain situations, it works. But, and for me, like I just don't think I'd be able to, it's not just the looks, I wouldn't be able to keep up. Right? Like because in the movie, when they find out that each other are rival assassins, they go and have this massive fight scene that starts around the time I'm going to bed. Like the time that they have, that I am out of energy, they are ready to expend the most energy. Like I'm like, this isn't gonna work for me. Like I feel like if my wife and I were to do this, like I'd have to say to her, listen, honey, I know we're about to get into this, and based on history, you're gonna win, but just give me just like a few minutes, like I need a nap first, right? Like you can go pick out weapons, just give me 20 minutes and a weighted blanket. Maybe a juice box. No, and she would, and then after they have this huge fight scene, because it goes on for a while, they destroy the whole house. Afterwards, they have vigorous lovemaking. And I can tell you, again, based on history, like I'm gonna need a nap after that too. Like, because my wife and I have been very passionate together, but afterwards I always just roll over and go straight to sleep. I can tell you what we're not going to do. Like after stoking the fire of lovemaking, my wife and I are not going to go out and fight an army of assassins together. That's not the way my world works. But the thing about it though is, that's the thing about Brad Pitt movies, though, they always get you so into it, right? Like you go and watch Ocean's 11, you're like, I should rob a casino. You go and you watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith, like, I should become an assassin. You go watch Benjamin Button and you're like, I should become a baby. Which is fantastic, because babies get to take naps all the time. Okay, that's my time. Thank you, I'm Chris James.
Well, yeah, keep it going.